So what I'm going to talk about restoring is an old clock today. I actually got this given to me because I was repairing some watches and an old vintage clock. Actually a US chime one. It was a gorgeous unit. And this was missing some parts, so they said keep it. So I'm just going to go and reevaluate this again for you so you can see what I saw, and we'll see if we can get it going. So here we go. First let's look at the back. And it clips open here. There we go. Pretty simple. I think I'll just take the back off with the 4 screws and we'll see what's inside. Here's my screwdrivers. I got all different types, so. I'm going to put them all in this margarine can here so I don't lose anything. It's going to come off easily. It has a little shutter thing, opens and closes here so you can look in the back. But we want to go right into it. We don't want to do it this way. So I have evaluated this, but I want to show you how to do it. Take this cover and put it aside for a sec. Screws into this tub, make sure you keep everything together. And you'll get a light in here. And you can see the insides. And I put the string on for moving it around actually. But if you take the string off, it ticks. So there you go. That is a great start. But this was bent, and I bent it straight. This is, there's the little thing for the pendulum, look. I didn't know that was there, that's great. Anyways, so that's that, and we'll stop it running again for the time being, because we're going to take it out anyways. Okay, now we have this, we're going to remove the whole mechanism. A little bit of white stuff on here. Most likely from my other clock, cleaning it up. Okay, we're going to, oh, it's gone loose again, so we'll turn it around again. There we go. Turn it this way. These usually clip open here. Lovely looking, clean. Very happy with that. And we'll go, doesn't do it on the half hour. Oh, it does. There we go. And it should do it 11. So there we go. That's working as well. So there's 2 things that are great. It's running and it's chiming. Now I don't know where the key is. There's a key over there. I can grab it. But we don't have to worry about that at the moment. Let her chime out. Little pin, the old-fashioned pins for holding the clock handles in. Now if you haven't done it before, you can get a phone, and if you're not thinking about remembering it, you take a snap of the way it was, and that way when you're putting it back together you put the washers in the same way in that. You just pull the pin out. It came out easily. And you pull off the first hand always first, if it comes off. Come on. There comes the washers. There's 2 washers. And that's not too difficult. They're both concave and they're facing in to press that hand in and to hold everything tight. And there we go. And there's that off. And with a small electrical screwdriver, this one most likely a bit better, we'll take off the face. It's actually a little loose. This one's falling out. So it nearly feels like somebody's had it off before. Watch your glass. Then we're going to put this in there as well for the time being. And there you got it. There you go. You're already into the workings of the clock. We're going to turn it around again. And there's 4 screws back in there, up on the top here. I don't know whether you can see it. Let's get the light down further. There. And I'll just point them out. Yeah, the light doesn't want to stay down there. There's 4, 1, 2, and then there's another 3, 4 on the bottom. We'll just take those out and the mechanism will be removed from the clock. Out comes the mechanism. Now it looks a little dirty and grimy, so we won't worry about that right now. I didn't know it was that grimy. I'm a bit surprised. I will remove this this gong, the actual striking bar here. So we're totally apart. And here's a label, directions. It's a bit dirty, but I'm going to leave it. Something 1275. Trademark on both dials or something. That's kind of cool. But we're going to take this out just so it's not in our way when we're needing an adjustment for that quickly. It's just the hour striker, not the striker, but the actual spring for making the sound. And you know, then I can clean up the box and that, see, without anything in it, which is nice. So I usually put the washer back on the spring part, so that's not for any reason, just so I don't lose it. So there we are. We're all into the can here, and we have this part, and we have this all empty. That's all there is to it. And a lot of the clocks are the same. Okay? So we don't have to worry about the springs of the clock. It's all working. It's very grimy looking. We'll get to that in a while. But that's the evaluation, but everything's working, so I'm happy with that. It has a leather striker down here still in that. I'm not too sure what happened to the pendulum, but the spring is here, which I didn't know, which I may have to replace, unless I can get it on somehow to work again. I might make my own. I don't know yet what I'm going to do with that, so we'll approach that later. That's just the spring for the pendulum going back and forth, like. And what it does is it keeps this into momentum like this. Slows it down, actually. Can't go that fast all the time. So when you take these pieces out like this, and you have them all out, if you're going to clean on this and that, put this like one of those small plastic bags over it and cover it. Don't let more dust get into it. And I'll be cleaning it later anyways, but still put a plastic bag over it and cover it. It's just you don't want dust into all the mechanics. So, and you know, your shop is going to get dusty no matter what you do. So plastic bag it, and these parts are okay. We'll be cleaning the dial up in that later. We'll be polishing it and looking at that, and then putting it all back together. Now, even better, if your wife has these Ziplocs in the kitchen for freezing and that, the large ones, they're fantastic because you can just take the mechanics of most of these and just put them in it, and then you can see which one's which. So you just put it in your Ziploc and you lock it up, and it's dust free. It's chiming inside the bag. How about that? Doesn't want to stop for anything. That's a great sign. I'm just really dying to get this clock going again. So I have a little haze on the casing, and what I want to do is just do little tests first of how to get rid of the haze. And this is I've tried it before, so I'm just going to go a little test with a bit of compound here. It's actually compound for a car, so there's a new one. Most likely cheaper. You know, I want it to be able to shine up again. And down in here is hazy, so I think it's going to work really well. But down in here is very, very hazy. If we go down here, and I'll zoom in a bit. There we go. This is very dull here, see? And this is very dull. There's something on this, like a grime. I think it's going to work. I mean, I'm not going to show you the whole process of this. I'll just do these two sections and you can see, oh, look at that. I have to put a little saliva on there. Funny what that does. Takes off the dirt. You see it's coming. Do you see the difference here on this one? Now, I want the whole thing shining up like that, so I'm going to work on that. I might take these off, I don't know yet. Might be wise, but that's going to work, look. So it's going to shine lovely. So you can see this piece here, how it's shining up really nicely. And that's the way I want the clock to look, like this here, not like this here. There's nothing. There's some kind of grime on it anyways, but you know, I'm going to have to wash it off a bit and see what happens. I'm not too sure what the grime is. It's coming off with the polish, but we could take a little paper towel or something and there's definitely, we'll take a clean paper towel and see what happens. Get a little bit of paint. This is like paint solvent. Yeah, it's got kind of yellow on it, so whatever it is, let's try it somewhere else. In there you can see it. Yeah, it's like a yellow. I don't know exactly what it is. And you know, sometimes the whole varnish goes hazy. That might be the reaction with this chemical, though, which would concern me. Yeah, we're getting little black marks on it, so it does need a good cleaning as well. And then we'll polish it again. I'm going to stop that. We're going to clean the mechanics first. Washing it for a while, you can see the water here is quite dirty. And you can see the rag has gone yellowish. Yellowy dirt. But, you know, it could be a little bit of the polish. But still, there's a lot of dirt coming off this clock. And I'm quite happy with that. Now I'm going to take it into the kitchen sink and give it a wash with a toothbrush. And we'll see what it looks like. That's the first cleanup anyways. Get the dirt off it. So I cleaned off the clock. Gave it a good old cleaning. But it's gone very kind of dull looking in most places. But the only place it didn't go dull is where I polished yesterday. But I just polished the top of this here. And as you can see, I can... I'll just zoom in for you. There. See, it's dull here, but if I polish, it'll come back like this. So I have a lot of work ahead of me, but I'll get it back to that again, and it's going to look great. But the grime that came off was unreal, so there's not much I can do about it, but it went quite dull. But I think it'll polish up again once I get going. Yeah, so the dial looks pretty good. I'm quite pleased with the dial. I don't think I'll do much to it. And this clip's open. I'll just clean this outer edge here, because that's all it really needs. I've done a little bit of cleaning there, but this glass needs to be put in properly. It's kind of hanging out. I can see there's a little bit of tin pieces here that you bend out. That's not very hard. That'll only take a couple of minutes. What we'll do though is we'll just bend it back at the moment. take this glass out of the way, right? And we won't worry about putting this glass back in yet, because we'll just clean up this surface around here. And I would say maybe just a little bit of a wire brushing might do it. I don't want to lose the teen of the clock, to be honest. How shiny do you make it? I don't know. That's going to be up to you. I think I'll leave some of the marks in it, actually. I think that's quite nice. They were a little too strong, but now they're kind of mellowing out. I think it's okay. I mean, I like that. I just need to give this a little wipe in here. And I'll clean it when I put it in again. I think that's pretty good. And I should put the glass in properly. Have a look at the glass. It needs a wiping, and then we'll just pop it in there quickly and bend down the tabs. So the dial's done. Just using window cleaner. I never like the lines on the edges where they sit too long, you know. That looks pretty good. We'll just give this here a quick little wipe. It'll dry out. I don't want to wipe this too much. I don't want anything to happen to this. It's pretty nice. And now I'm going to take this glass, I'm going to pop it in here where it belongs. The tabs are a little bit bent. And that one's bent out, as you can see. If you look there, we'll close in on it. There. This one's bent all the way in. Look on it already. And there she goes nearly. There, 2, 3. Something doesn't want to budge again. Maybe this one's too far up, not up high enough. There we go. Or this one's being stubborn. Yep. Isn't that amazing? Just one tab and it won't go in. Oops. I want the glass to do a break on me. It's not exactly going in lightly, is it? That's in, that's in, that's in, and they're all in, and now we just got to bend them out a little so the glass has to be firm in here. Nice and easy. Screwdriver in behind and press down a bit. A bit of that polish there, however they got in there. And that looks pretty good. It's not going to rattle or anything. I didn't do this one here, which I should do all the tabs while I'm at it. That looks quite solid. I can even press it down a bit more. You don't want the glass rattling or anything when you close it up later on. And there we have the dial ready for reinstalling. It's quite pretty. Yeah, what I'm going to do right now is clean the mechanism of the clock, so let's go to it. We'll just tip around here. There we go. My own camera operator, of course. Where there's our mechanism, and we'll zoom in so you can see it. Got a bit of clock solvent, which is just solvent for cleaning. No, nothing fancy. And it's quite black up here, so I put a pan underneath to keep it all clean. No, I don't think they're going to polish up too much. Oh, there's dirt on those. Let's get a paper so you can see the dirt coming off. Can you see that there? Look at that. And you know and then I'll get a little brush. I have a little brush here, an old paintbrush, which I use for cleaning things. And we'll go down in here in the teeth a bit. Ooh, it is dirty. Whoa. A little surprising that it runs. I might use an anti-rust kind of liquid to clean this. Might help better. I'm going to spray it with this anti-corrosion stuff. It'll clean this quicker, and then we can loosen it out afterwards, because we're getting really nowhere with the rust marks and everything on this. And what does it say? Stops squeak, restore and protects, loosens rust parts, freeze sticking mechanisms, dries out moisture. So there you go. So let's see how that works. I'll put this out of the shot there. Got to be careful about advertising, you know. Oh, where's my thing? I'm just going to show you the dirt that's coming off here. Oh, there goes the lovely shine to the shaft. That's what I want to see. I want to see the shafts come back shining. This is a little flywheel for the, goes off when it's ringing. All the shafts are lovely, coming up lovely. These are going to be always a little rusty, I think. Down here we have a lot of muck. You can see it on this sheet here. Oh. I wonder how long it would have lasted. So I'll keep at this. Oh, look at this dirt here. There's a little inscription there. It looks like I wasn't the first into this, you know. So, what we'll do is we'll run it for a minute so it loosens out a little. There's the gong part, see? Oh, it's shiny up in the wheels as well, look. We'll do that again, actually. Okay. I'm going to stop the timer from going. As you can see, it's running the wheel here. I just have a string on there that's just sticks up this way a bit. It's fine. Anyways, I just wash this a bit more with the brush and we should be good. So I put a rust inhibitor on there to clean off some of the rust and let it soak. And then the clock kind of stops and goes, and that's because the rust inhibitor is a little too thick. Then you wash it back down and then it starts running again really well. So, you know, whenever you're oiling or you're doing this oily stuff, if it starts slowing down, you know what you've done. It's kind of similar with watches. If you put it in washing agent into watch, it stops, kind of sticks. You see at an odd time it does a little stick, but it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy. Just leave that run away for a while, and I think it's clean enough, to be honest. There's an odd part down here that's turning and showing up dirt, but and you know the striker thing works. The alarm, if I can get it going again, where is it? Yeah, I can't see it right now. There she goes. There's still black coming off down there. You can see the gong striker going. It's going to stop now because it's gone into a larger groove here. But there's less dirt coming off, which I'm pleased with. Oh, there's still dirt down there in that wheel. Wow, look at this. Oh. It's beginning to loosen out more and more. It has a little hiccup now and then, but it's not bad. And my... Ah, there she stopped again, see? Does it every little bit, but she'll loosen out. And then this is the hammer. You can see the teeth. It's going to go 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 or something. And then it's going to drop in the large stop and stop. It's going to stop here, good. So I leave this run away and let it loosen out and it'll be fine. So that's the mechanism done. I got to go polishing the outside of the clock. I still have to deal with this spring thing here, which I don't exactly know how I'm going to get a pendulum on it. It's a short pendulum. So I found a problem here where this is pressing out here and it needs glue around the edges here a bit in some places. And this is over buckled a bit, which I'm going to have to sand down a bit and bring in and glue. So I'm going to grip it here and grip it back, the back piece as well. So I'm going to put glue in here and glue in the back. But I got to first bring this back. The back is overlapping. If you can see that, let me get this correct. The back is overlapping here, so it won't go in unless I take a little bit of this wood off. And then it'll pop back in again, unless it overlaps the other way. There we go. It's getting close. Anyways, I'm going to shave that a bit, put some glue on and clamp it, and then we'll be ready for polishing maybe. We'll see. There's always something with these old clocks. I'm still trying to read this. Something from the face by using the something key. I think it's wine. Correct strike. Okay. And too much of that left. I like the label though, I'm going to leave it there. And of course I spotted more on top here. This piece is like seriously far away, look. So we got to glue all this down again. It's not good. So let's repair that first before we carry on. So I'm going to take some white glue and try and re-stick this in. Put quite a bit in there. We have it here a little too, on the side here. I might have to just use tape to hold this in. And we have the back, which is a mess as well, so we'll get to that. Bit more. There we go, a bit more glue here. Which I can turn around the back now, we're going to glue that. I was wondering, is it because I washed it? Could be. You can see inside there it's split. And it's coming away like crazy. It might have been an old style glue, see, and didn't like the water. But you know, it wasn't that much water, it was a wipe. So you wonder, did I miss this when I was evaluating it? That happens when you get into it. There's other issues and other things wrong. This is part of restoration. Now that should hold that for a long time. So now I just got to find a way of clamping it and we're all set. I don't want glue on my label back here. Just wipe it a bit. There we go. So it doesn't look so bad. We'll find a way of holding that in there. Maybe with a clamp. Oh, I gotta do the top yet. Whoops. Another one in there, see? I'm just loading up the glue like crazy here. And I just put it on my I'm not too sure where the centerpiece went. Maybe it was like that and I never noticed it. Who knows? Anyways. Okay, I'm going to get some kind of clamp to clamp this with. Yes. So yeah, I've got the wood glue in around and I'm pulling in the backing with the clamps here and this kind of large paper clip. This is pulling in this veneer here. And up here we have a little bit more veneer coming off. And this is just trying to hold this in here, this tape. It's bulging a little bit, but I'm going to leave it because, you know, you don't want to start overworking the clock. So we're going to leave that dry. Now that may have been because the glue started coming apart, which isn't great, but I'm not too sure whether it was already there or not. I still got a lot of work to do on this part of the clock, see? Get this all polished up. It's got to be better than that, that's for sure. I'm applying fast drying glue here, like super glue kind of type, to try to get this veneer down because it's sticking up. I don't know whether it'll stay down or not. I got it on my finger, of course. Right here is definitely bubbling up. Just hold that for maybe 30 seconds or something. That's quite a while, so we'll see There's a little lift there still, which I don't like. So I'm going to try, I got it down a bit, but I'll get it down more. Yeah, so I've got this down a lot more. It has a little lift there still, very little. But you know, it's warped out, so I think it's going to be that way a bit. It's a bit... so I'm going to most likely fill this in and file it out a bit, and then maybe match it. There's some parts missing here too on the edge here, like you can see some glue here, but then it's missing. So we'll see. At the moment I'm just happy that that's down more. And then I got to think about where to go from there, because you know this line should only be a little, it should be a faint line here like this here. Then it goes real wide. And it doesn't look too pretty. The other side looks much nicer. You can see it there, look. When you polish it up and that, it's going to look lovely. I have to actually, just so I was showing that, I have to scratch out all these lines in here with a pin. These ones, these fine lines, I can close my finger in the way. These fine lines have to be all with a pin scratched out again, they're gone. They have some polish in there and dirt, and they don't look very good. But when you scratch them all out, it looks like this here. I'll pull back a sec. Sorry, wrong way around. There. It looks like this here on this side, which is absolutely gorgeous. See? That's what I want it all looking like in the end. I've got a ways to go. Because I've got to do all this polishing and cleaning, and I'm most likely going to file this, and this is my own, I mean, this clock was left to me, but it is being used as a test on, I'm doing a very expensive antique clock, so I want to make sure I get, it's the same veneer, so I want to do it on this clock first so that I get a really good idea of how to polish a filled crack, which the other one has. And I noticed that this was black veneer, it wasn't brown veneer, but I might leave the brown because it's quite pretty. But we'll see. See, as you can see, the badges leave marks here. We'll do the other side, and I'll take off I'm going to take off all the feet as well. I just decided that, you know what, take it all off, start from scratch. It's the best way to go here. So I'm washing with solvent in the cotton bud this whole sections all the way up to this half here, and I want to see what it does. It dry and go this white, or does it dry and clean up and stay a little shiny, or what? It's just a test. I'd like to see what happens, and if I actually put a bit of French varnish on here, will it shine like the other side? See, and we got these black foot marks here, which I'm going to have to leave, I think. I don't think I'm going to try to tone those or anything. That's part of the old clock, and you have to keep some of the character. I'm quite happy with that though, and that's the way it should look later on when it's the wet is what I want to get as a result when I'm finished. That kind of a shine look, but it was more black like this before, but obviously it's hit the sun in that and lost its coloring. Yeah, so I've decided to put a epoxy in here in this crack and down here on this ledge to hold it together a bit, and maybe I'll apply a little bit in here, but I must get a fine line back in somehow. I'll work that out, and I got a little split here I want to put it in too. So I'm going to use a grey epoxy. The only problem is it doesn't stain, so you're going to have to match it with a paint first and let it dry, and then make it look like it's polished. But it's going to be more permanent. Hold it together better. Just mixing the epoxy up. I'm advertising margarine here. It's a margarine lid. It's all right. any plastic will do. This was just the one handy I had, so. Maybe I'll do that again. Just mixing the grey and white epoxy up. As you can see, it turns grey here on an old margarine lid. I turned it around so I wouldn't have the brand name. And we're just going to apply it into the clock here. You can see the crack here. That's what I'm going to be doing right now. And trying to get it into this crack and leave it fill up. It's bulging a little, but I don't really want to peel all that veneer off, because it would go back to about here and it would be a gaping gash. And you know, this clock is old, but some of them aren't fetching very good prices nowadays, which is a little sad. So there's only so far. I'm doing this a little bit for the video, and I've also got some very expensive clocks I have to do, so it's good to test out this whole theory. And I have a similar clock like this. It's quite expensive, so in some ways that's a good way of testing it here. Yeah, I don't like this ledge here, see? It's exposed. I don't know whether it's from me cleaning it or what, but. And we have a little bit of a slot up in here that's too wide. I'm going to take that in as well into account while we're at it. I think just down to this here. Look at that, that filled in lovely there, so we're going to leave that. And we got to do this side here. There's some damage right in here, and then do around this edge here as well, look. Like that. You try and do the best you can. I just found there was a repair on this on the side, so someone's been at it before, and you can see they've put a little dab of paint on there, but it's bulging now for some reason. I'll show you when it's done here. There we go. That's quite nice. Do is a little wipes. And we're going to clean it up a bit. The less I file, the better. The cleaner you can get it, the better it is. For later on, for repairing, for filing. I like the veneer to be as original as possible. So I just clean this up a bit more and we'll come back to it.